Hey, I really want us to stay friends. Hold up. Let me explain what the hell is going on with this beloved little line these exes love to drop right after dragging your soul right through hell. So why on earth do you all buy into this absolute asshole offer? Like, how does our brain work to think someone who couldn't even give you basic respect in a whole relationship is suddenly going to show up a loyal ass bestie? And maybe you've been staying up till 3 a.m. staring at the ceiling thinking you're being mature by accepting this breadcrumb package deal, even though it's 100% making you fry your brain. Because what you don't realize yet is that this innocent little friendship offer, it's not an olive branch. This is actually the blueprint to set you up for your double discard. And that one is going to walk you straight into the psychological trapdoor if you don't see it coming. Okay, so let's be real for a second. When they look at you with those sad little puppy eyes and say, I don't want to lose you from my life, it's a whole ass identity ceremony for them. They are literally trying to rewrite the script to look like, see, I'm a good person. Look how mature I am. And y'all who just got your heart stomped on are sitting there reading their texts like, who knew my ex could actually become a decent human being for once? A real avoidant listening to this is like, shh. Anyway, because their shame core is so deep that they would rather do anything than face the fact that they just impacted your mental health. So they offer you friendship as an emotional insurance policy. It's them defending themselves against being the bad guy. It translates to, I'm going to take away your romantic rights without losing access to your attention. And what this does is help them keep the control, and as you all know by now, control equals false safety for emotionally unavailable people. And a clean break? If it would have been a clean break, that gives all the power back to you. If they let you walk away completely, it means it's in your hands to move on, to get better, to heal, realize they were mediocre at best. Losing that control feels terrifying for them. So giving you a clean break feels like handing you all the power to forget they ever existed. Their ego just doesn't let them do it. It's a survival instinct for them, so instead they say, let's see how things go as friends. Because that at least makes them appear reasonable while keeping you on the back burner. You'll go, is the reasonable in the room with this right now? Really? Valid. But hold on, because I have more excuses for why they do this. They think they're being kind as long as they keep in touch, even though they aren't connecting to your pain. And they're only observing your text bubbles from a distance, like some pseudo-empathy. In other words, they perform care without any of the vulnerability because real friendship requires consistency and effort. And they would rather do anything else than do that for you, or anybody for that matter. So why do you feel like you're going completely losing it when they text you, I hope you're doing well? Is it because you are asking for too much? No. Bitter and mean? Hell no. Unable to let go? Maybe. No. Impossible to please? Be for real. You stayed with them through everything, through all their bullshit. No. The reason you feel like you're completely losing it is because they are literally denying your breakup truth in real time. Pretend it didn't happen. You try to repair your heart through distance and they suddenly shift the whole thing to focus on your reaction. Just so they can avoid facing their actions. That's a form of manipulation. And your nervous system isn't dumb. It literally goes into panic, like, hold up. Did I imagine the breakup? Did that happen? Or are we just going on like nothing happened? How can they not see what they are doing? Leave me in peace. And if you accept, You'll just build them a giant emotional safety net while they move on. So you survived the let's be friends speech and you went home and you actually tried to be friends. And now you're sitting there staring at your phone, waiting for a text, feeling like your chest is literally collapsing. Let's talk about the science of why your brain is doing this, because this isn't just heartbreak, baby. This is a literal chemical hijacking. Your ex sends you a casual text at 9 p.m. Hey, saw this meme and thought of you. To them, it's a cheap little way to feel like a nice person. To your nervous system, it's an absolutely biological earthquake. See, your brain cannot distinguish between a friendly text and romantic hope. The second their name pops up on your screen, your brain floods your system with a massive hit of dopamine. It's the exact same chemical rush a gambler gets when they pull the slot machine handle, for instance. You get that sudden, intense high, but right behind that dopamine is a giant wave of cortisol and anxiety. Because your brain goes, wait, are we back together? Do they love me again? Or am I still on the back burner? And you'll go, but they said they missed me. Oh no, I might have cut off someone who missed me. Well, be for real now. They don't miss you. They miss the validation you gave them. It's not about you. It was never about you. And every time you reply to that friendly text, you're just feeding your own addiction. You're keeping the trauma bond alive on life support. Your nervous system stays stuck in a state of high alert, constantly waiting for the next hit, which means your body never actually gets a chance to heal, even a chance to start healing. You're literally keeping yourself in a state of perpetual withdrawal. Think about it this way. Staying friends with the person who broke your heart is like trying to quit smoking while keeping a lit cigarette in your mouth just to admire the packaging. Your body doesn't understand the concept of a platonic transition. It just knows that the person who became your primary source of safety is now the exact same person causing you the most danger, the most fear. And that reality distortion, that is why you feel like you're losing your mind. Your nervous system is screaming at you to run away and protect yourself, but your ears are listening to their calm, reasonable voice telling you that you're being dramatic for needing space. You're sitting there thinking, am I crazy? What does a simple friendship feel like I'm drowning in acid right now? Again, valid. It feels like drowning because they are literally denying your reality. They want to skip the messy, painful consequences of ending a relationship and jump straight into the comfortable part where you still laugh at their jokes and care about their day. They want the perks of your presence with zero of the commitment and the accountability for what they caused. The pain they caused, the breakup, not breakup, discard. And your brain is caught in a freaking loop trying to figure out how someone can be so close yet completely unavailable. If you keep playing this game, you are going to stay stuck in this limbo for months, sometimes years, because you cannot heal from a wound while the knife is still actively twisting inside your chest. Sorry baby, it's time to gently rip off that band-aid because you deserve to actually heal now. So now we need to talk about the absolute hardest part of this entire trap, saying no. Because the second you decide you aren't doing this just friends circus anymore, your brain starts showing a massive guilt trip party. You start thinking, if I walk away, am I being pity? Am I being the bitter one now? Am I the toxic one now maybe? Let's smash that lie into pieces right now. Saying hell no to the little backburner friendship offer isn't being mean. It is not being mature. It's you Finally taking your goddamn power back for someone who didn't deserve it in the first place. See, when you say yes to being friends, you are telling them, hey, it's completely fine that you broke my heart. You can still have my energy for free. And they love that. It's a whole ass victory ceremony for their ego. They think, wow, look how amazing I am. We are so mature. Everyone still loves me. See, they were the problem. And you're all sitting there with your heart completely shattered, nodding your head like, yeah, totally, we are very mature besties. We can handle this. Be for real. The moment you stand up and say, I cannot be your friend, I need a clean break, the entire dynamic shifts. The power flips right back to you because suddenly they don't get to dictate the terms of your life anymore. You're taking away their safety net. You're forcing them to actually sit in the cold, dark reality of what they chose, what they caused, which is a life without you in it. And let me tell you, they absolutely lose it when you do this. They will look at you with those sad puppy eyes and send you a text like, wow, I truly thought you cared about me. You'll go, oh my God, maybe I'm the monster. But look at the reality distortion of that. They break your heart, discard the relationship, and then have the absolute audacity to call you uncaring because you won't stay around to soothe their guilt. But hold up. That isn't friendship. That is a hostage situation. A clean break. A complete no contact. It's not a punishment you are inflicting on them. It's a sanctuary. It's a sanctuary you are building for yourself. It's telling your nervous system, we are safe now. The threat is gone. We can finally stop fighting for our survival. We can relax and start healing. And the second you close that loop and stop replying to those casual 9 p.m. texts, your brain can finally start doing its job. Your cortisol levels start dropping. Your constant panic attacks will stop. You stop staring at your phone waiting for a ghost to come alive. It feels terrifying. Absolutely is. Because your brain is literally going through withdrawal from your trauma bond. Your body is going to scream at you to text them back right now. It's going to make a mess in your body. Just to make the pain stop for 5 minutes. But baby, that temporary relief, it's a trap. It really is. You have to choose the short-time agony of walking away over the long-term madness of staying on their back burner. Because you're worth infinitely more than an emotional insurance policy. So now they're trying to tell you that this friendship is going to be amazing and you're almost tempted to believe them. Let's run the whole thing through a brutal reality filter because we need to look at what a real friend actually is versus what this person is actually offering you. Because honey, if we look at the facts, is friendship even in the room with us right now? Let's be so for real. Think about your actual best friend. The person who texts you when your life is falling apart. What do? They show up. They pick up the phone at 2 a.m. They stay consistent. They actually care about your emotional safety. Now look at your ex. This is someone who literally just looked at your entire relationship, your love, your vulnerability and went, yeah, I'm good, I don't want this anymore, I'm out. They literally dropped you. They caused the biggest emotional hurricane in your life, pulled the rug from under you. And now they want to step into the role of your support system. God forbid an ex actually pretends to be a reliable companion. Be for real right now. A real friendship is built on equality and mutual respect and trust. It requires a solid foundation. But right now, between you and your ex, there is a massive toxic power imbalance. They hold all the cards because they are the ones who chose to leave, and you're the one left picking up the shattered pieces of your heart. So when they offer friendship, they aren't offering a real supportive bond. They're offering a dictatorship where they get to decide exactly how much of them you're allowed to have. They want to be able to text you when they're bored or lonely. But the second you need real emotional depth, the second you say, hey, I'm actually really hurting today because of what happened. Oh, watch how fast they pull that disappearing act of them again. They'll go, whoa, I thought we were just friends now. Why are you bringing up the past? You're being so overdramatic every time. You'll go, wait, am I being too much again? No, absolutely not. But do you see the absolute madness of this? They want the privileges of a best friend, the laughs, the inside jokes, your undivided attention, without any of the actual labor. They want you to perform care for them, while they give you absolutely nothing but crumbs in return. That isn't a friendship, baby. That's a liquidation sale of your worth. Your nervous system is going crazy because it realizes the math, it just doesn't add up. If they couldn't show up for you when they supposedly loved you and were completely committed to you, they couldn't show up for you then. Look at how they treated you. Why on earth would they suddenly show up for you now that they have zero obligation to do so? I will tell you, they won't. They are just using the word friend as a polite cover story to keep accessing your energy without ever having to pay the price of admission. Now we have to talk about the absolute most savage, heartbreaking part of this entire bullshit setup, the backup plan. Because if you stay in this fake-ass friendship, you aren't just losing your peace of mind. You are literally volunteering to be their emotional safety net while they go out and look for your replacement. Let's just say the quiet part out loud, because you'll need to hear this before you see something that completely destroys you. See, when someone discards you but begs to keep you around as a friend, they are usually terrified of the void. They don't want to sit alone in an empty room and actually feel the weight of their own toxic choices. That takes work. That takes self-confrontation. And they would rather do literally anything else. So they use you as a soft, comfortable transition buffer. They get to ease themselves out of the relationship slowly, using your familiar energy to stay emotionally stable while they gradually detach from you completely in the background. And you are sitting there giving them your best advice, laughing at their memories, thinking, see, we still have that special connection. God forbid they ever find anyone else who gets them like me. No, not from where they're sitting, absolutely not. The second they feel stable enough, the second they find a shiny new rebound and a good fresh source of validation, watch how fast that special connection evaporates into thin air. Suddenly those sweet 9 p.m. check-in texts stop coming. Suddenly they are too busy to hang out or reply to your messages. And then the ultimate punch to your gut. You see them posting pictures with someone new on Instagram and bam, there is your second discard. And this time, even without the decency to actually break up with you. They just quietly fade you out. You didn't even know. Because your job as their safety net is not of use to them anymore. Wham bam, thank you man, bye bye. And your entire world shatters all over again. You go into a total panic like, hold the fuck up. How could they do this to their best friend? Was the friendship a lie too? No, it wasn't. And that is the trap. They didn't lie about wanting a friend, they just lied about what a friend meant to them. To them you were just a placeholder. You were the emotional insurance policy, keeping them warm until their next option showed up. And the most messed up part, because you agree to be just friends, you don't even have the right to be angry. If you call them out on it, they'll just turn around and use that fuck-ass line, "Why are you acting like a crazy ex? We were just friends. I'm allowed to date people." And just like that, the reality distortion loop closes and you're back to gaslighting yourself, thinking you're the one who's crazy. Your nervous system is screaming because you just allowed the person who broke your heart to use you as a stepping stone to get over you and break your heart over again in the process. You stayed available to comfort them through their loneliness, while nobody was comforting you through yours. That is pure self-betrayal. You cannot let yourself be the safety net for someone who was perfectly fine with watching you bawling your eyes out on the kitchen floor. So here's where the rubber meets the road. This is the final destination of the circus, and it's time for you to pack up your bags and leave the tent. Because now you understand the whole fuck-ass game. You know the friendship offer is a guilt buffer for them. You know those casual texts are a literal chemical weapon against your nervous system. And you know that staying in touch is just volunteering to be the emotional mattress they lay on until they find someone else. So what do you actually do with all this information? You close the loop. You cut the cord completely. You see your brain is currently stuck in a state of high anxiety because it cannot find a resolution. As long as they are still just a friend in your phone, your brain is running a background program that says, maybe they'll change. Maybe they'll realize what they lost. Maybe we can fix this. And that open program is draining your life force every single day. The only way to shut that program down, the only way to force your brain to actually start the healing process is to give it a definitive, unshakable, undeniable answer. And that answer is no contact. You're sitting there right now sweating through your clothes thinking, but if I block them, won't they think I'm bitter? God forbid my ex thinks I can't handle a platonic friendship. Please be for real right now. Who gives a single flying F what they think? You are never going to be able to feel safe with them ever again. You won't be able to trust them ever again. Too much has happened for that. They dropped your relationship into a blender. Their opinion of your coping mechanism officially do not matter anymore. When you go completely dark, you aren't doing it to be pity or to punish them. You are doing it because your inner child is standing in the corner of your mind, shaking with fear. And you need to lock the door so the monster can't keep walking in and out freely whenever they need access. The second you block their number, delete the chat and commit to the clean break, your body is going to go into an absolute panic for a week or two. It's going to feel like actual physical withdrawal. But right behind that panic is the first breath of real peace you've had in months or maybe years. Because now your nervous system finally knows where the boundaries are. It stops waiting for the 9 p.m. text message dopamine hit because it knows the channel is dead. Your cortisol levels finally can start to drop. Your reality distortion clears up. You stop looking at yourself through their distorted, dismissive mirror and you start remembering exactly who the hell you were before they came along and messed up your peace. Your magic, your depth, your humor, your sexuality, your incredible capacity to to love that you thought you could only experience through them. Baby, that did not belong to them. It belongs to you. They were just a parasitic guest enjoying the view. One they needed you for to create. It's time to take your energy back and invest it into the only person who is guaranteed to stay with you for the rest of your life. Yourself and your inner kiddo, hand in hand. So the next time they look at you and say, I really hope we can still be friends, you smile, you wish them a nice life and you walk out that door. Because you are a full course meal and you don't sit around on the back burner waiting for someone to decide if they are hungry. If you're ready to finally close the loop, drop your phone and take your power back. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment below telling me you're choosing yourself today. I read every single one. Stay strong, stay secure, and I'll see you in the next video.